Dos ordens é ta casa te na cata boar na burundi. Ai yin te yi kan fun mar ba man tang buma. To ko jila la lete.
Okay.
Tena min po zama mai dizeli kan. To yin ye zim mon sa. Bu mai bien. Ta pa ba. Mani kama ko yin bien mi. Ka pra ka wona kan ten nyam pa wa man. Ka zama viela. Kikian pam den me tab kata buat na tab kikian syukur. Kikian pam den me bi zang batahri yona. Boma kalen sama azu bagian bakana. Syukur bi ma yekar ka payu. Boma na ka syukur ma na zo. Bi jibal na yen nan shan lab takar be en dola du bi. Na ma bugun kan.
The voice you just heard from northern Ghana is just one of the 1.4 billion people living without electricity worldwide. I'm Peter DiCampo. I'm a photographer with a long-term project on global energy poverty. I began this project while living in Ghana as a Peace Corps volunteer. I had assumed that the lack of electricity was just an inconvenience, but as the voices of my former neighbors just described, it actually has a deep impact on health, education, gender equality, agriculture, and virtually every aspect of development. Put simply, energy poverty keeps people poor, and it's an issue that affects nearly a quarter of humanity. In Kurdistan, I photographed people who live on top of one of the world's largest oil fields, but don't have access to electricity themselves. I've even brought this project to the United States, on the Pajarito Mesa, just outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico, where a mere bureaucratic oversight has prevented people from receiving electricity. The next two stories I'll tell are the most important yet, on the rising costs of household energy in the UK, and the severe effects of energy poverty on women's health in Uganda. In the UK, instead of looking at the lack of electricity, I'll be looking at what it takes to keep electricity on. Dramatic rises in the cost of energy will push up to 7 million households into fuel poverty, which is when a household spends more than 10% of their income on energy bills. Local aid organizations are already reporting that with such high debt on their energy bills, people are shutting off their own electricity and heat, or, in some cases, entire families live out of only one room because they can't afford to power the rest of their home. And this is before the coldness of winter has even set in. It's been estimated that this winter, nearly 3,000 people will die cold-related deaths because of this issue. In Uganda, I'll cover the surprising health emergency which women who live without electricity are victim to. Lung disease, caused by inhaling the thick smoke of cooking fires, is one of the top 10 killers worldwide, killing more people than malaria, most of them women and children. To tell this story, I'll travel to the Bundibugyo district of western Uganda. I'll spend time in the district's villages and health centers, which lack electricity, and there I'll also investigate other effects of energy poverty on women's lives. In these clinics, deliveries at night are performed by midwives gripping flashlights in their teeth, if they can be performed at all. The clinics lack refrigeration for critical medications, and when not performing the deadly act of cooking, women and girls spend countless hours gathering firewood, time that prevents them from receiving an education. Funding from this Kickstarter campaign will allow me to travel to these locations and spend the time necessary to tell these stories. But this isn't just about telling a new story. I've been given the rare opportunity to contribute my photography more directly. 2012 will be the UN's International Year of Sustainable Energy for All, and I've been invited to exhibit this work at key events throughout the year. They've asked me to address an audience of policymakers and world leaders, sharing stories from the people I've photographed. Often, the voices of those afflicted are the ones missing from the international debate. Your contribution will enable me to share more stories like the one you just heard. Thank you for your time and consideration, and for any help that you can offer.